Hello, welcome to Everyday People. I am your host, Dr. J. Lorraine, and we're here today with Mary. Mary is a home health care provider, one of the most honored professions I think that it is. So, how did you begin in that particular profession?
Well, I started helping my mom with my dad because he had got sick, and I would help her bathing.
Mm-hmm.
But then she was working a lot, and so I had to start bathing myself. But it was a profession I didn't want to do because I was kind of ashamed. He was my dad, and he was kind of ashamed too. And we just told each other it got to be done, And I was trying to help my mom too, and I just got it done, and I bathed him, and after that, it was easy. And then I thought about it, and I said, that's something I might want to do myself. And so I started, and his nurse would come out, and she told me, she said, Mary, you're good at what you do. She said, why don't you go to school? And she said, I'll help you get in, and I help you with your homework or whatever you got to do. And she said, you got to, she said, your attitude, you're the type of person, the best person that could work with elderly people like that. So I went to school.
Okay, you said that you were ashamed to begin with to help your father?
Yeah, it was kind of personal. Yeah, but
Oh, what?
bathing another person's body, and it's your father's.
How
And
did you overcome that?
well, my mom told me that if you bathe, see one, bathe them, you've seen them all. So she said, why not? And so I decided to go ahead and do what she wanted me to do.
Okay, so you took the nurse's advice and went to school,
hmm
and you really love what you do?
I love what I do. I do.
Wow.
I love elderly people, and I like helping people.
Okay, now are any of your patients invalids? Do they can they do anything for themselves?
Well, majority of them from the waist up they could, but a lot of them were like in wheelchairs and stuff. And I got one patient now. She has no legs, but she's good at what she do, and she's a funny little lady. And I enjoy being with her, and she helps me to help her, and
Okay.
that's good. But sometimes you can have patients that can't help themselves, and you
Mm-hmm.
can still do what you got to do for them.
Okay. Okay. So how does that affect you? Because I know that when you are ministering, because that's what we're talking about. You're ministering to a person in health physically. How does that pull on you physically and spiritually?
Well, physically, it kind of wears me out a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
I ask God to give me that strength each morning so I can do what I have to do with Him, and He gives it to me. And spiritually, it's like your spirit and that person that you're bathing or your patient you got, it connects. Your spirits connect with each other, and then it seems like uh, you begin to know each other, and you can relate to how they feel. You know,
So it's a trust thing as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yes, it is. It is.
Is it very rewarding?
It is rewarding because you always get a smile. Even sometimes you got a patient that's always you have grouchy people. Some of them are grouchy, but it ends up when you get through bathing them and feeding them, and they'll sit down and they'll tell you the story about their life.
And all of us have a story.
hmm All of us have a story.
Okay, so is there any regrets about choosing that field?
No, there's no regrets. I'm still doing it, and I think I'll be doing it when I leave here. It's like it's an enjoyment
Mm-hmm.
to be around people other than just sitting at home and feeling sorry for yourself. But you don't realize that if you with other people can tell you something that you think bad happened to you or bad, but when you get around them, it's a joy. It's just a joy.
So, what advice would you give to, like, my generation, where our parents are in their 70s or going into their 80s? What would you say to people like me that was not their chosen profession, but they ended up having to start to give health care to their parents, and we don't want to put them in a home. So what would you say to us?
Take care of your parents.
Okay.
Love them. Do not put them in a home because they took care of us. And in our their generation, they had a hard time taking care of us. And all we gotta do is trust God, and He'll show you how to love them. Even if you got a grudge or anything that you feel like someone, your parents did you wrong, just trust them, and you gotta forgive. You gotta forgive whatever's in your heart, because that's what God is looking for. He's looking for love from, just love your neighbor
Okay.
like you love yourself.
So then, what would you say besides love your neighbor as yourself? Some people might not know how to do that.
All they gotta do is pray.
Okay.
All they gotta do is pray. I've learned through the years, I used to do things that I thought I was doing myself, but I realized all the time that God was doing it for me. And He showed me Mary. And I didn't realize for a long time who Mary is, but now I know who Mary is. And I like Mary.
So you learned that through helping other people?
hmm I learned that through helping other people.
Wow. Wow. That's quite profound. And
Yeah,
it's quite true. When we help others, we find out who we really are.
we really do.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Everyday People.
Bye.